Hello everybody and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to get a standard car and we're going to put minimal upgrades on it. So pretty much what we're going to do, like, yeah, you know, mostly standard, just a few upgrades just to see how it goes getting sideways. Now, if you like what you see, I'm not going to do this at the end of the video, alright? So I'm going to do this at the beginning. If you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe, like the video up, and yeah, leave a comment on below on what you want to see upgraded in the next video. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, the whole budget, like how much we're going to be spending on the car, all of that stuff. You know, the upgrades, paint job, whatever you want. So yeah, leave a comment in the section below and I'll definitely put that in the next video. Anyway, let's get on with this. Now,
hey, don't be shy.
with the standard car, I'm planning on going with a Nissan 240 SX SE. Okay, so we're going to do that with minimal upgrades. Now, I went out and bought one just earlier, just to see what we were looking at. Now, I was quite impressed. I thought, yeah, it's a good car. It's nice, it's light. It has a lot of horsepower off the go. Anyway, you can see the stats of it. It's a D-class car. It's rear-wheel drive, standard. Speeds at 5.2. Handling at 6.0. Accelerations 5.7. Launch 6.2. Braking 7.0. The power, we're looking at 155 horsepower with 160 pounds per foot of torque. We're looking at 2,915 pounds of weight. It sits at a comfortable 53% front, and it's 2,389 displacement. So it's pretty good off the bat. Looks pretty good. It's a real stylish car. I actually like the shape of this car. So here we go. We're going to go into the upgrades and custom upgrades, of course. Now, I'm not going to do an engine swap. I'm only going to do, yeah, like minimal upgrades to this. So the first thing, I like the body shape of this, so I'm not going to go with body. I'm going to go with wheels and tyres. Now, with the wheels, I don't want it to look too fancy, but I don't want it to look too boring either. I know it's real easy to make this thing look very, very, very boring, which is pretty ridiculous because it's a good looking car. So we're not going to go with specialized rims. We're going to go with these with this rim style and see what we can find through here. They're not bad. Ooh. Oh, now that looks awesome. They look good. I reckon that'd look good in gold. So yeah, we're going to go with these wheels. And then we're going to go over to the tyre compound next. See what we can do out of this. So we're going to get the street tyre compound. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking like, wow, he's running a stock car and he's going to put street tyres on it. What's he thinking? Right? Well, I want a bit of grip. So, yeah, we're going to make the tyres, front tyres as wide as possible. Rear tyres, standard. I'm not going to go with the clutch system in this. The clutch is pretty damn good in these cars. But I will upgrade this transmission. I do want a 6. And for the drivetrain, we're going to go with race drivetrain, of course. Make it just that little bit lighter. And we're going to go with the race differential. You want those back wheels as stiff as possible. I'm not going to go with brakes on this one, simply because, like, you know, yeah, less power. You know, you don't need to stop very suddenly because it doesn't go that fast. I will upgrade the suspension to that. We're going to put the anti-roll bars on, both of them. And of course, we're going to go with a chassis reinforcement and roll cage. We're going to go with this one because you want it to be stiff on the back. And of course, a weight reduction, simply because we want it nice and light, of course. So yeah, we're not going to be putting too many upgrades on the engine. Just a few things just to see how it goes. We're going to go with a sports intake, because you want as much air as through these things as possible. You're going to go with an upgraded race exhaust, more power, little airflow going through there, so it isn't, you know, it's working at its optimal thing. Of course, a racing flywheel. So yeah, like, you know what? I'm gonna put a turbo on it. I like the single turbos. You know, we want a little more power in this thing. Let's be realistic. Like, we can't get the wheel spinning at like 150 horsepower, so we're gonna bolt a turbo on there. Nothing too big, just maybe a sports turbo with the intercooler system. I'm gonna go with a full intercooler, race intercooler, because yeah, like, you want as much air as possible into this engine. So yeah, went with that. So that's pretty much everything for the upgrades on this car. We're gonna go to the tune shop soon. I think right here I'm just looking at, like, you know, the horsepower and all of that stuff, so yeah, looks pretty damn good. Now, for the tune that I put on all of my cars, I do this one shoe fits all. So as you can see, I put the tyre pressure on the front way down to 15, all the way on the back all the way full at 30, 30.0 psi, and I did F around with the final drive a bit, just to make sure it had that power. And for the camber, I went with a 4.8 on the back, 4.8 on the front and 1.5 on the back. We went with a 1.0 front toe, and of course front casters at 7, all the way 7. And I don't know why it does this, but it always puts like a 3, 3, 1, 3, whatever. So yeah, I like it nice and even. So on the front, I've obviously went with a 14.30, and on the front we went with a 9.50. With the springs, it doesn't really matter much. Like, you know, about that 0.1 at the end there, I wanted it up at 1,000.1 stiffness on the back. Getting there at the 7s, 8, 9, and 1,000. There we go. And on the back, we went with 900.1 or whatever it says right here. So that's pretty much what we're going to do with the springs. You want them nice and stiff on the back, and even stiffer on the front. You know, you want to make sure that it, yeah, ride height doesn't really matter what ride height's at, but yeah, I always put it really low. I like the dumped look. Sorry about that. For the rebound stiffness, we went with that, and because of the low horsepower, I put the acceleration up to 100 and the deceleration at 10. Yeah, because of the power, you know, you want good acceleration for that. So that's why it's at 100 on this one. So anyway, that's the one shoe fits all tune. I've got that on all of my drifters, whether they're 800 horsepower or 200. So yeah, it's a pretty good tune. So yeah, that's it. She's upgraded. Now we're going to go to paint and design. Just something real quick. I don't want anything too fancy on this thing. Just, you know, something to make it, you know, give it a little sex appeal. So I went with the grey. Been watching a video on YouTube of this guy. He does up a standard 180SX, and yeah, it's unbelievable. He used house paint for the paint job on this car, so I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, that's enough of that. We're going to throw a quick window tint on there. We got the car all painted up, the rims all golded out. Put some window tint on it, save it, and yeah, So anyway, if you like this video, thanks for watching, and gonna do a quick video on for this last bit, and just see how it slides and stuff, and yeah, keep drifting fun, peoples.